A quiet Port Charles morning, and the secret no one saw coming. Port Charles awoke to the kind of crisp November morning that felt almost too calm, too still, as if the universe had paused for a reason nobody yet understood. The sun cast a pale glow across the harbor, its reflection trembling over the water like a warning. At the Metro Court, the breakfast crowd chatted softly, unaware that one of the city's most legendary protectors, Anna Devane, was missing. No, not missing. Gone. But the people of Port Charles wouldn't know that for hours. Behind the scenes at GH, whispers were already spreading. Finola Hughes, beloved icon, longtime anchor of the series, and the woman behind the fierce, unbreakable Anna Devane, had stepped away from the show. And not for vacation, not for a daring storyline twist, but to battle something most fans could not have imagined. A serious illness. The producers worked quickly, quietly, respectfully. The writing team had one mandate: craft a storyline powerful enough to honor Finola, protect her privacy, and keep Anna's spirit alive on screen while she fought her real-life battle. Their solution? A chilling, psychological abduction arc. A story where Anna disappears, yet remains the center of every heartbeat in Port Charles. Anna Devane had sensed something wrong for days. A creeping dizziness. A fatigue she couldn't shake. Strange gaps in memory, as though someone else were rearranging her thoughts when she wasn't looking. You need rest, Valentin had told her the night before she vanished, brushing a hand over her cheek with that soft, private tenderness he never let the world see. Anna smiled in that way she did when she was hiding everything. I'll rest when Port Charles is safe, she said. But after he left, Anna locked the door, sat on her sofa, and stared at the reflection in the window. She didn't look like herself. Something in her eyes had dimmed. A faint tremor ran through her hands. It's nothing, she whispered. It wasn't nothing. It was the real-life echo of Finola Hughes's own battle, folded into fiction with the gentlest touch. A mirrored storyline, not identical, but symbolic. And viewers would soon discover the terrifying twist. Anna's symptoms weren't natural. They were induced. Someone had been poisoning her. At 9:12 a.m., Anna failed to show up for a scheduled meeting with Jordan. At 10:03, her phone went straight to voicemail. By 11:47, Valentin Cassadine burst into the PCPD, pale and breathless. She's gone, he rasped. I went to her house, door unlocked, no forced entry. She's not there. Something happened. Jordan tried logic. Dante tried protocol. But Valentin saw only the evidence that mattered. Anna Devane would never simply walk away. Someone has her, he said. And he was right. Anna woke on a metal cot in a small room illuminated by a single flickering light. Her wrists weren't bound. Her legs weren't restrained. Instead, she felt something much worse. She felt weak. Every breath hurt. Her head pounded with a thick, muddy heaviness. And when she tried to stand, her legs gave out. A chilling voice came through a speaker overhead. Welcome back, Agent Devane. We have much to discuss. Anna's instincts flared, but her body betrayed her. She reached for memories, her last steps, her last words, her last moments at home, but they dissolved like fog. What did you do to me? She whispered. Only accelerated the inevitable, the voice replied. You see, your greatest weapon has always been your clarity. Your brilliance. Your ability to see patterns no one else can. But what happens when those patterns fracture? When your own mind becomes the battleground? Anna shivered. The parallels were unmistakable, fictionalized, exaggerated for drama, yet carrying the emotional weight of Finola Hughes's real-life health challenge. A storyline written with love. A storyline written with respect. A storyline written so Anna could disappear, without ever truly leaving. Valentin refused to sit still. He retraced Anna's steps. He interrogated her neighbors. He pulled security footage from every block within a half-mile radius of her home. At the same time, Sonny mobilized his own network, quietly, discreetly, because despite their complicated history, he owed Anna far more than he could ever repay. Whoever took her messed with the wrong people, Sonny growled. Meanwhile, Robert Scorpio arrived at the PCPD like a thunderbolt. His rage was volcanic, his grief barely contained. Anna Devane doesn't just vanish, he snapped. She fights. She leaves blood on the floor. So where's that? Where's the evidence? But there was none. Just an unlocked door. A faint chemical smell. And a single glass on the counter with Anna's fingerprints, and someone else's.
Dante stared at the partial print. "This isn't random," he murmured.
"This is personal." Behind the scenes at TPTB worked quietly but determinedly. Finola Hughes had privately informed the show she needed time away for medical treatment. Not emergency, not life-threatening, but serious enough to require rest, focus, and privacy. The writers wanted to honor her decades of legacy with something meaningful, not a recast, not an off-screen vacation, not a quick disappearance explained in a single line.
They wanted a story that felt worthy. A story that allowed Anna to remain central even in absence.
A story that mirrored the idea of vulnerability, struggle, and resilience, without exposing Finola's personal details. Thus, the psychological abduction arc was born. Not torture, not violence, but a mind game. A battle of identity, a fight for clarity, a symbolic reflection of Anna and Finola, facing something that demanded strength beyond measure. Days passed. Anna's condition worsened. Her captor's voice became clearer, sharper, more focused. "You were always admired, Anna," the voice purred through the speaker.
"So strong. So sure. So impossible to break."
"But everything breaks eventually, even legends." "Show yourself," Anna croaked. "In time." Meanwhile, her hallucinations began. Not dramatic visions, just small distortions. A shadow moving in the corner when no one was there. A memory resurfacing, then twisting. A voice that sounded like Robin. A whisper that sounded like Duke. A fragment of the WSB training facility, then darkness. Someone wanted her to doubt reality. Someone wanted her to crumble from the inside out. But Anna Devane had survived far worse. Even in weakness, she was dangerous. She began studying the room, counting tiles, searching for patterns in the speaker static, pushing through the fog in her mind. Because no matter what was happening to her body, her instincts still burned hot. Valentin's investigation finally cracked open when he obtained grainy footage from a traffic camera near Anna's street. At 2:17 a.m., a van with fake plates stopped near her house. A figure stepped out wearing a mask and gloves. The figure moved like someone trained. Precise. Efficient. Confident. Then Valentin froze the footage and zoomed in. "What is it?" Dante asked. Valentin didn't speak. Because even in the blur, even in the shadows, he recognized the gait, the tilt of the head, the unmistakable posture. "This can't be," he whispered. But it was. The person in the footage moved exactly like his father, Victor Cassadine. Except Victor was dead. Or so they thought. Anna's hallucinations sharpened into something agonizingly lucid. She remembered the night she opened the door. The smell of something sweet and metallic. The flash of a gloved hand. And a familiar voice whispering. "Did you miss me, Agent Devane?" Her blood ran cold. "Victor," she whispered, now fully awake. A chuckle filled the room through hidden speakers. "Ah, good. The mind remembers even when the body fails. I suppose we trained you too well." Anna's pulse quickened. Victor Cassadine. Dead. Cremated. Scattered. And yet she knew the voice. "I killed you," she hissed. "Did you?" he replied. "I wonder." But she remembered the WSB report. The body. The ashes. Unless the whole thing had been a Cassadine trick. "I should have known," she whispered. "You cockroaches never die." Victor laughed softly, almost fondly. "Oh, Anna. This isn't revenge." A pause. "This is farewell." Robin returned to town the moment she heard the news. "Mom wouldn't just disappear," she insisted to Robert. "Something happened. And if Victor Cassadine is involved, she's in more danger than anyone realizes." Jason Morgan, still adjusting after his own return, stepped forward with an offer. "I'll find her," he told Valentin. "I owe her. And I don't fail." Even Carly got involved, organizing search teams and pressuring Sonny to expand his network further. Port Charles had suffered many tragedies. But the idea of losing Anna Devane was unthinkable. She was a symbol of survival, of strength, of resilience through decades of loss, trauma, and war. Everyone felt the weight. Everyone felt the fear. Because when an icon falls, the entire city trembles. Days blurred inside the cell. Anna's body deteriorated. The poison, the exhaustion, the psychological assault all taking their toll. But her mind refused to break. She forced herself to remember her training. She paced the room to maintain muscle strength. She recited the alphabet backward to keep her cognition sharp.
She tapped out secret WSB codes on the wall in case anyone was listening. And slowly, she pieced together her situation. She wasn't being tortured. She was being isolated. Confined. Weakened. Disoriented. Why? Because Victor didn't want to kill her. He wanted to erase her.
Wanted to make Port Charles believe she had disappeared of her own accord, destroying her legacy, her reputation, her very identity.
You won't win, she whispered. The speaker crackled. On the contrary, my dear. I already am. Fans began speculating wildly online. A kidnapping arc.
A psychological thriller. A symbolic mirror of the actress's real battle. And through it all, GH showrunners prepared a powerful message.
This story honors a legend.
Anna isn't gone, she's fighting. And she will return stronger, sharper, and more unbreakable than ever.
It was a promise. A vow. A reassurance wrapped in fiction.
Finola Hughes would have the space she needed to rest and heal. And Anna Devane would have a storyline worthy of her legacy. In the 7th day of her captivity, Anna's hallucinations were interrupted by a nearly imperceptible noise.
Tap. Tap. Pause. Tap. Tap.
WSB code.
Someone was trying to reach her. She pressed her ear to the wall and tapped back. Who are you? She signaled.
After a long pause, the answer came.
Ally. Anna's heart lurched. Robin? No. The rhythm was wrong.
A second message came. Hold on. Help coming.
Anna closed her eyes in relief. Someone knew she was alive. Someone was close. Someone had found Victor's location. And yet, her body was failing. Her vision blurred. Her heartbeat slowed. She needed to hold out longer. Hours longer. Maybe days. But she would. Because Anna Devane did not die in a cell. And she certainly did not die at the hands of a Cassadine.
Valentin had reached his breaking point. He stood alone on the pier, watching the waves slam against the rocks as if the harbor itself were angry on his behalf.
She's alive, he whispered. I can feel it. Charlotte approached quietly. She always comes back. He swallowed hard. Not this time. This time I go get her. His voice was low, dangerous. It was the voice of the man he used to be.
The man who once terrified nations.
He made a call.
Get me everything you have on Victor Cassadine's last known movements. And prepare to move.
Tonight.
Dante overheard and joined him.
We do this together, he said calmly.
You're not going alone. And so the rescue team was set. Valentin,
Dante,
Jason, Sonny,
Robert, and an unexpected ally.
Britt's brother, Peter August's half-cousin, a former WSB operative who owed Anna his life.
Port Charles was assembling an army.
Because when you steal an icon, you face the wrath of everyone who ever loved her.
Back in the cell, Victor's voice returned. It's nearly time, he said.
For both of us.
Anna forced her eyes open.
You're dying, she whispered, piecing it together. You want to take me with you. A poetic ending, wouldn't you say? You pathetic coward.
Victor chuckled. Such spirit. Even now.
Remarkable. The lights flickered.
Then static filled the room. And then, a siren. An alarm.
Victor snarled. They found us.
Anna lifted her head. Good.
The sound of gunfire ripped through the facility.
Doors slammed. Shouts echoed. Footsteps thundered closer.
Anna forced herself upright, gripping the wall for support. Her fingers trembled violently, but she locked her knees. She would stand when they came for her. She would not be found collapsed. The door burst open, and Valentin stood there, breathless, wild-eyed, broken.
Anna, he whispered. Her knees buckled. He caught her before she hit the floor. I knew you'd come, she murmured.
He pressed his forehead to hers, shaking. Robert appeared behind him, eyes shining with relief and rage.
Let's get her out, he said, voice thick.
But as they carried her out, Anna's vision blurred to white.
Stay with me, Valentin pleaded. But Anna Devane had given all she could. Her body finally shut down. She slipped into unconsciousness. Anna survived. Barely.
She was taken to a secure medical facility outside Port Charles, her condition critical but stable. The doctors insisted she needed weeks of rest.
Possibly months. Robin stayed by her side. Valentin visited daily.
Robert paced the hallways like a caged tiger. The official PCPD report stated, Agent Devane is on extended medical leave.
Off-screen, fans understood the meaning.
Finola Hughes was taking the time she needed to recover.
A private fight.
A personal journey. A real-life battle reflected symbolically, respectfully, powerfully in her on-screen arc. Life moved forward, but Anna's absence was felt everywhere. The Metro Court felt quieter. The PCPD felt unmoored. Even Sunny looked uneasy. Something was missing from the city's balance.
Her photo remained on Valentine's desk. Robert kept her badge in his coat pocket.
Robin visited Port Charles General regularly, updating friends on her mom's recovery.
No one forgot her. No one replaced her. No one tried to fill the void. Because Anna Devane wasn't gone. She was fighting. Just like the woman who played her.
In the final scene before the story's temporary conclusion, a letter arrived at the PCPD addressed to Jordan, signed in Anna's elegant handwriting.
Jordan opened it slowly. Anna wrote, "I'll be back when I'm ready.
Until then, protect the people I love. And if a Cassadine breathes near Port Charles, take him down."
Jordan smiled softly.
Robert took the letter, stared at it, and whispered, "Hurry back, love. We're waiting." The writers had achieved the impossible. A dramatic exit that honored the character. A storyline that protected the actress. A fictional arc that mirrored the emotional reality of struggle, resilience, and hope. Anna Devane's disappearance wasn't the end.
It was a chapter. A pause.
A breath before the next fight.
Because Anna always comes back.
And so does Finola Hughes.
When the time is right. When the battle is won.
When the recovery is complete. Until then, Port Charles waits. And hopes.
And fights on.